right, good evening, friends. Tonight is January 23rd, 2017. Go ahead and copy down the title and your learning goal and press play when you're ready to begin again. All right, remember that today in class we talked about additive and decomposing angles. Remember that today we looked at two ways to solve for that missing piece. In this angle, we're missing this small portion right here. We know that the whole angle is 135 degrees, and we know that this angle is 90 degrees because that's what that square tells us. So if this is 90 degrees, and this is 135 degrees, how do I figure out this small missing piece? Well, I know that I would take the whole angle, which is 135 degrees, and I would subtract 90, which is what I know, to get what is left. 5 minus 0 is 5. 3 minus 9 I can't do, so I will borrow. 13 minus 9 is 4, so 45 degrees is the measure of the missing angle. Over here, we are missing the whole piece. We know that this section is 45 degrees. We know that this section is 90 because remember that's what the squared corner tells us. 45 degrees here, 90 degrees here. I know that I'm going to add the two pieces. All right, so to find the whole thing, you're going to add 45 degrees and 90 degrees. 5 plus 0 is 5. 4 plus 9 is 13. The whole measurement is 135 degrees. So tonight we're going to be adding to that a little bit. Tonight we're going to be talking about complementary angles and supplementary angles. Complementary angles are the angles where their measures add up to be exactly 90 degrees. So when we put two angles together, their measurement will be exactly 90 degrees. And a supplementary angle is when the angle measures add up to be exactly 180 degrees. So, go ahead and pause your video so that you can get those two definitions copied down. Press play when you're ready to begin again. Alright, sometimes we get complementary and supplementary mixed up, and there's a really easy trick to help you remember which is 90 degrees and which is 180 degrees. Well, complementary is 90 degrees, and to remember that, you take this word complementary and you add a line to the first letter, and it makes the number 9, and the second letter is an O, which looks like a 0. So now you have 90 degrees. Complementary is 90 degrees. The way that we remember supplementary is we add a line to the first letter. This time, however, it is a diagonal line. So we add that line to the S, we add a 1 on the outside, and we turn our U into a 0. And that kind of looks like 180 degrees. Supplementary is 180 degrees. So that's just a little trick to help you remember it. Go ahead and copy that down for yourself so that you can use it as you work through the next couple of problems. Alright, first we're going to look at a couple of complementary angles. So we know that because they're complementary, they have to add up to equal exactly 90 degrees. If this piece is 40, what does this piece have to be in order to be complementary? Well, we know that complementary is 90 degrees. We're going to take away the 40 that we know about, and we are now left with 50 degrees. So the complement to 40 degrees is 50 degrees. All right. Go ahead and pause your video and write down all three of these pictures. I would like for you to try to solve the next two on your own before you press play again. When you press play, we will check the last two together. Alright, you should have already solved these two equations, so we're going to check them together. We know that they're complementary, so we start with the 90 degrees. We know that it has to add up to 90 degrees. We take away the 70 that we know about, which leaves us with 20 degrees. The complement to 70 is 20 degrees. All right, and for the last one, again, we know if it's complementary, it has to be 90 degrees. So we start with 90 degrees. We take away what we know, which is 15. And we cannot do 0 minus 5, so we have to borrow. 10 minus 5 is 5. 8 minus 1 is 7. So 75 degrees is the complement of 15 degrees. All right, there are a couple of other ways that we can ask complementary and supplementary, and I've listed them down below. This question says the complement to 72 is blank. Well, complementary, again, I know is 90 degrees. I have to take away the 72 that they've given me to find the complement. So, I have to borrow 8. 8 minus 7 is 1. So, 18 degrees is the complement to 72. Go ahead and copy down the next one and solve that one on your own. Press play when you're ready to check for the answer. All right, we know again the complement to 33 degrees is blank. We know that complementary is 90 degrees. Take away the 33 that we know about. 0 minus 3 cannot do. 10 minus 3 is 7. 8 minus 3 is 5. 57 degrees is the complement to 33. I would like for you to copy these last two down and solve them on your own. 42 degrees and 48 degrees are complementary, true or false? 79 degrees and 12 degrees are complementary, true or false? Press play when you have solved those equations. All right, 42 degrees and 48 degrees are complementary. That is true. If you added those two numbers together, you would have gotten 90 degrees. This next one, 79 degrees and 12 degrees are complementary. That is false. When you add those two numbers together, you get 91 degrees. So that would not be exactly 90 degrees, which makes them not complementary. All right, so we're doing the same thing here, except we're doing supplementary. Remember that supplementary equals 180 degrees. So this time we're going to be looking at 180 degree angles. Here, remember that a straight angle is 180 degrees. This portion of the straight angle is 45 degrees, so how do I figure out what I'm missing? Well, you're going to start with your 180 degrees. You're going to take away what they gave you, which was 45 degrees. And you would then be left with 135 degrees. All right, same thing over here. Notice that there are not any numbers. This is still a supplementary angle because it is a straight angle. Remember that straight angles are equal to 180 degrees. We also know that this square tells us that this angle is worth 90 degrees. All right, if this portion is 90 degrees and I know that the whole angle is 180 degrees, I'm going to subtract it out. And I know that I am left with 90 degrees. So the supplement to 90 degrees is 90 degrees. All right. And the last one, supplementary, it's 180 degrees. So 180 degrees minus what they gave me, which was 120 degrees, And that leaves me with 60 degrees. So the supplement to 120 is 60 degrees. Get all of that copied down. Press play when you're ready to begin again. All right, I would like for you to try to answer these 4 questions on your own. Copy them down, write the answers, press play when you are ready to check them. All right, blank is the supplement to 78. Remember that supplementary is 180 degrees. Subtract 78, and you are left with 102 degrees. So 102 degrees is the supplement to 78. 137 is the supplement to what? Well, 43 degrees is the supplement to 137 degrees, because when I add those two numbers together, I get 180. All right, 32 and 148 are supplementary, true or false? You should have marked true. When you add those two numbers together, you get 180 degrees, which is supplementary. 45 degrees. Sorry, that was the afternoon bell. 45 degrees and 45 degrees are supplementary, true or false? That one is false, because when you add 45 degrees and 45 degrees, you get 90 degrees. All right, it's your turn. So go ahead and read the directions below, and we will look at those together when I see you next. Have a great evening. Good night.